Hey everyone, I'm back with tutorials. Welcome to Effect Maker Masterclass. This will be an ever-evolving series of video tutorials for Effect Maker, where I'm going to take you from a beginner to an absolute pro in building effects. Today we'll keep it simple. I'll tell you what Effect Maker is, how to access it, go through the UI, and end it by creating your first effect. If you have ever used effects on the YouTube app and wondered how do you even make one, the answer to that question is Effect Maker. All the effects that you see inside of the shots camera are made on Effect Maker. The best part about it is you don't need to code. All of the logic is programmed visually using nodes, aka visual scripting, just like Effect House or Spark AR. Now, an important thing to clarify is this tool is not available for every YouTube channel yet. It's currently rolled out to a limited set of creators as a part of Trusted Tester program. Let's get started. So go to your browser and search for effects.youtube.com and you'll come to this homepage. And here you can see all the effects that I've made. If you're opening this for the first time, you'll see this section to be blank, and just below that you'll have effect templates. And on the left side you also have a section called manage. If you just click on this, you can manage all the effects that you have created before, and you can see other stats of those effects. So for now, I'll click on this new project and create a blank project. So once you create a blank project, you'll see this screen. Right in the middle, you have a viewport, which is a 3D viewport. You can even switch it to 2D by clicking on this 2D button at the top. And you also have these gizmos to move objects or rotate it or even scale it. On the left side, you have this toolbar where you can see all the objects that are available to us. And if you go to the Objects and Assets panel, here in the Objects panel, you'll be able to see all the objects that you use in the effect. Right now it's empty because we don't have any objects. And just beside that, we have an Assets panel where we can upload all the assets that we're going to be using in our effect. And on the right side, you have a preview panel where you can preview the effect. I'll just move myself towards this side and I'll scale this up. In the preview panel, you have an option to pause or play the video. You have an option to reset the effect, change the camera feed to your webcam, and also change the video. You can choose between any of the models here. So I'll click on done. I'll keep it to model number 1 for now. And finally, we have the stop section with undo and redo buttons. Just beside that, we have an autosave option. And we also have effect limits, which will show you the file size and also the memory usage. It's currently 50 MB for the max memory usage limit, and the file size limit is 5 MB. And you also have this section which will change the layout. As soon as I click on it, you'll see this section at the bottom that is a visual scripting section where you can add the logic. And just beside that, you have a button that says preview on device. So whatever effects you make here, you can directly preview on your YouTube app by just clicking on it and scanning this QR. And then you have a submit button to submit your effect, and here is your channel icon. So that is the UI for now. I'll scale this down and I'll also close the visual scripting because we are not going to dive into visual scripting in this video. And I'll move myself towards this side. Okay, to add objects to your scene, you have two options. The first option is by just going to this left toolbar and here clicking on these different icons. Each icon will take you to a different section. The first one is visual effects. Under that, you have color filter, particles. Next, you have image. Image has image, AI image, camera snapshot, draw. And then you have face effects. Under that, we have face paint, face accessory, stretch. And next we have camera and segmentation. Inside that, we have body segmentation and camera feed. And next we have text. Below that, we have 3D where we can add 3D models and also light. And then we have a section for visual script as well, where we can search for any node and add it to our visual script. You can do that by just clicking on this change node button here on the top right side, and you'll be able to see this visual scripting section. I'll close this for now, and I'll also close this one. And here in the visual scripting section, right now you can see it's empty and it says add interaction. If we click on it and go to triggers and add a start node, I'll delete this for now because we'll jump into visual scripting a bit later. Inside of visual scripting, we also have support for variables. You can access variables by clicking on this X icon, and here under variables, you can see all the available variables. Right now it's empty because we don't have any variables. You can add a new variable by clicking on this plus icon, and here you have different types of variables that you can add. You can also change the value type to a single value or an array, that is a list of values. I'll delete this for now and I'll close this. We'll go back to add object. The first method of adding objects was using the left toolbar, and the second method is by just right clicking in the objects panel, go to add objects. Here you can see all the objects that are available to us. These are the same objects that we saw in the left side toolbar. This is a quick access menu. I tend to use this a lot. So let's create our first effect. I'll just go to this visual effect section, go to this color filter, and here under color filter you have two options. First one is just add a color filter. Second one is color filter from LUT. I'll choose color filter from LUT. Here we have two options, that is either using a cube or a PNG image. I'll click on upload file and I'll go to this cube LUTs folder that I have and I'll select this cinematic LUT. Click on open. Once the LUT is loaded, you can see that it's already applied to our scene. Here in the properties panel, once you select this cinematic LUT, you will be able to see this cinematic LUT applied to our scene, and you can also change its intensity. Now I'll upload a PNG LUT and show you how that will be applied. If you just go to this LUT section and click on add LUT, come back and I have a PNG LUT here, that is cherry look. I'll upload that. So this is how that looks. The intensity of this LUT is a lot, so I'll reduce that to about 60%. This looks good. You can even change models by clicking on this view video button, and this is how it will look on different model. I'll switch it back to model 1. I'll scale this down. Here in the properties panel of this color filter, you have different options available to us, that is intensity, brightness, contrast, saturation, hue, warmth and tint. You can change each of these features by just sliding the slider. You can decrease or increase the brightness, decrease or increase contrast, same with saturation. You can change the hue from here, change the warmth and also change the tint. So I'll just click on undo and undo all the options. By the way, you can undo by using Ctrl Z, the same shortcut that we all know, and you can redo by using Ctrl Shift Z. So you may ask, how do you even create these LUTs? To do that, just go to this visual effects section, go to color filter. Here you'll find an option that says LUT template. Click on that and you'll be able to download this LUT reference. That will give you 3 files, that is LUT row 64, LUT square GS16, LUT square GS64. These are nothing but PNG images with a specific grid pattern. The first one has 64 grids in a resolution of 4096 by 64, and the next one is 64 by 64 pixels, which has 4 by 4 grid, and the final one is this 512 by 512 PNG image, which has 8 by 8 grid, which makes up 64 grids in total. And then you also get this Photoshop template. If you just double click on it, it will directly open Photoshop. Inside of Photoshop, it's very simple to edit this template. What I would do is unlock this image and convert that to a smart object. Go to filters and go to camera filter and wait for it to load. Once it's loaded, I would usually come to this color mixer section and change the image however I want. So I guess I'm doing extremes right now, but you can do whatever change you want, and you can even change these settings here, but I usually prefer to do that right inside of effect maker. And then once I'm happy with how the image is, I'll click on OK. So once I've applied that filter, what I'll do is I'll apply the same on the LUT as well. I'll unlock this LUT, I'll disable this image, and I'll go to filter and click on camera filter. So now that look is applied to this LUT. What you do is go to file and export this LUT as a PNG. I'll just call it adjusted LUT. I'll come back to effect maker and I'll go to this LUT section and I'll click on this drop down menu and click on add a LUT. And here I'll upload that new adjusted LUT that we just created inside of Photoshop. So you can see that look that we created inside of Photoshop is applied to our effect. You're not just limited to Photoshop, you can use other tools like Lightroom or Affinity or even PixArt on your mobile. Once you're happy with your look, you can just click on this preview on device option and scan this QR with your camera app. If the effect is working as expected on your phone, then you can just click on submit and upload an icon and submit this effect. We'll cover submitting in a different video. To recap, in this video you learned what Effect Maker is, how to access it, also went over the UI section, and finally we learned how to create our own effect using color filter object and upload our own LUT. And in the next part, I'll teach you how to create your own face effects using face paint, face stickers, and also face stretch. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel to get notified whenever that comes out. Until then, bye bye.